I've said it before, I'll say it again, politics, they are a messy business. However, this video, in terms of political content, should be more minor than we typically discuss. Because we are not discussing, well, okay, I take that back. We might be discussing some positions that candidates have. But mostly, we'll be talking about how these companies, Facebook, American Express, Uber, Lyft, Square, Shopify, all of these companies are making bank on the elections. Like, they are doing so well. This is when you realize, like, yeah, I need like a social media network type thing for times like these. Because these companies that we use every single day and we don't pay a penny for, they make billions of dollars off all of us through the companies, well, not through the companies, through the candidates that want us to elect them into office. And so we're going to look at some of the candidates, what they spend their money on, and you might be surprised at how some of these companies make money during the election. You might also understand why these companies are so quick to offer free rides to the polling booths. But anyway, hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm to really like this video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification. We upload videos on a near daily basis and you will want to be notified of when those videos go up. We talk about news, commentary, editorials, interviews, podcasts, and premieres. So anyway, this Yahoo Finance, and yes, I still go to Yahoo, don't sue me or don't get upset, Mr. Old Logo. Like, why do all these companies do that boring? No, I've complained about it before. Anyway, this article is called AMEX, Facebook, Uber among those raking in millions from 2020 contenders. We're talking about presidential contenders and maybe even a few senators as well. So anyway, the 2020 elections are shaping up to be the most expensive in U.S. history, given some companies a revenue boost in the process. Even with technology giants and financial institutions in the political crosshairs, which basically means that the politicians are threatening to break them up, regulate them, or saying, hey, they're just plain evil, include at least 9 companies, including American Express, Facebook, and ride-hailing giants Uber and Lyft. Oh, that's cute. They think Lyft is a ride-hailing giant. Have benefited from a tsunami of campaign spending. In total, the camps of President Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Joe Biden, and Mike Bloomberg, especially I assume, have spent over $103 million, according to a Yahoo Finance analyst. Others on the list include Square, Stripe, ADP, Shopify, and Insperity, which is a company I've never heard of, to be perfectly honest. Federal Election Commission filings show. Despite drawing criticisms from several presidential candidates, the 7 campaigns shelled out $52 million on the social network's digital advertising platform. Well, this is interesting. Trump's campaign spent the most, paying over $19 million to Facebook, according to Facebook's ad library report. Big money was also spent on logistical items like American Express bills and taking care of payroll. To be certain, political spending represents a fraction of the billions that most of the aforementioned companies pull in regularly. For example, Facebook, which has come in for withering criticism about its political ad policy, has taken pains to point out that campaign spending is less than 1% of its total ad revenue. And political spending is a mere fraction of the $18.13 billion in gross bookings Uber took in last quarter, or the more than $11 billion in revenue reported by AMEX. But here's the interesting thing about Facebook, though. Facebook is especially the boogeyman in this election. And I don't think that's entirely fair. Granted, there's a problem with Facebook because anyone can buy a Facebook ad. Anyone. And that means you are going to have ads that are bought that do spread misinformation. I don't believe they're Russian bots, though. I believe they're just, heck, they might even just be pranksters in some cases. This also means that candidates will also buy ads about other candidates where they word things that sound like they're doing one thing, but they might not have been doing it in the way they meant. What's interesting is that the politicians have all criticized Facebook for this, saying they need to actually not accept political money at all, and yet many of them advertise on Facebook. It's very interesting how that works out, don't you think? Anyway, with that being said, The data shows various campaigns spend lavishly on multi-billion-dollar platforms they call out for bad behavior. For example, Sanders... I don't want to feel the burn, please. I am just reporting the news. The Vermont senator and current Democratic frontrunner shelled out a staggering $24.4 million in 2019 for human resources management services from ADP. Trump's campaign preferred to receive their human resources service from Insperity. That's probably why I haven't heard of them, because I don't pay attention to human resources management. Paying nearly $470,000 for their services. A lot less than Bernie. I kind of wonder if that's because Trump is a capitalist and knows the value of a dollar, where Bernie wants to give it all away. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist, okay? I couldn't resist. I'm looking forward to a Bernie and Trump matchup. AMEX and its travel arm also pulled in $25 million according to FEC filings. AMEX is American Express. However, credit cards typically make revenue off interest payments. It's unclear whether campaigns paid their bills off or in full each month. Oh, I bet you they did. Like, why spend money on interest if you don't have to? Why do that? So yeah, no, I don't think American Express is profiting all that much if people are paying their bills on time. When it came to travel, Uber and Lyft each earned over $100,000 from the campaigns, though some spent more than others. We actually did talk about this. Although we didn't talk about the Trump campaign. That was actually missing the last story. Well, now we're going to rectify that. The Trump campaign spent $40,000 in the service, or a little over, and they largely snubbed Lyft. They just spent $436 on Lyft. Maybe it was surging extremely high that day. I don't know. And the same could be said about the South Bend mayor, with Buttigieg's campaign shelling out $24,000 on Uber rides, but only $9,600 on the ones from Lyft. The flip side is true for Klobuchar and Sanders, campaigns which massively preferred Lyft to Uber. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I wonder, that's actually a question I would have liked to have asked on the presidential debate for the Democrats. Like, which service do you use? I use Uber, I use Lyft. Okay, why do you use that service more than the other? Is there a particular reason? Is it their reputation? Is one cheaper for the most part? I especially know that Lyft has like that ride pass in most areas, so I wonder what the reason is. That's interesting. Of the payment processing companies, Stripe was a clear campaign favorite, pulling in $760,000 from last year's 2020 campaigns. Comparatively, a slim $4,400 was spent on Square. Oh, I love Square though. E-commerce platform and point-of-sale system provider Shopify was also able to earn money off the elections, as campaigns paid $284,000 to utilize the service. Well, of course, Shopify makes sense, because yeah, you got buttons and shirts and hats to sell, and if you're not going to sell them at the rally, you might as well sell them at your own personal store, and hey, Shopify makes that affordable. But Sanders' campaign was by far the largest spender at these companies last year, shelling out just under $39 million. He outspent Trump by $17 million, who paid companies like Facebook $22 million over the course of the year. And by the way, Mayor Bloomberg, he spent a little bit around $8 million on the campaign. So anyway, that's kind of like just a little interesting tidbit, if you will, about where the politicians are spending their money. And of course, as someone who talks about rideshare a lot and has, especially in the past, I am kind of curious about you who drive, who are voting for candidates, who you want them to ring these companies in, you want them to make them pay you fairly, maybe give you a little bit of vacation time. And you cheer whenever they say we oppose Facebook and Uber and Lyft and Amazon. Actually, I didn't really touch on Amazon here. What do you think when you see them spending all this money on those platforms? Do you still trust them to actually do something about these companies when the time comes for them to be reelected or elected? Because Trump might not win the re-election. I would sincerely like to know the answer to that question. We're not going to be nasty about it. We're going to have a civil discussion about that. At least I hope we do. But anyway, if you can do that, please do me a favor. Comment below. hit that subscribe button, share the video, and as always, blame responsibly. Have a good one. Primaries are almost over. Make sure you get out there and vote.